Hey, how's it going, you guys? Spydeco64 back here once again on a Sunday, reviewing some more Star Wars. Um, so of course, as you all may know, that we have gotten quite a bit of some Star Wars, of course, as of recently. So yeah, another week, another set of Star Wars. So with that being said in mind, here today, of course, we're here to talk about another episode of The Bad Batch. And in this particular episode, well, I think this might be probably maybe the best episode of the whole series. And probably some of the best I can't say for sure what is the best animated Star Wars episode. I really just can't say that because we received so many good animated episodes all throughout the years when it comes to, the Umbara arc of the Clone Wars, to the Siege of Mandalore, to the Ahsoka arc in season 5 of the Clone Wars, to the Fives arc, if I haven't mentioned that already. Even Rebels has a lot of good gems, like, Twilight of the Apprentice, Twin Suns, all that sort of stuff. The whole arc of Sabine Sabine trying to liberate Mandalore from the Empire, which goes about as well as you imagine, of course, due to the newer Star Wars content that is being put out. So, anyways, though, yeah, so The Bad Batch has produced some really good episodes. However, though, I think this one might be the best one. And I'm going to talk about why I think it's the best one. I'm going to talk about it here right now. So, let's not waste any more time. Let's just get into it. So, this episode is titled The Outpost. The episode starts off, and immediately, we're in for a very dark story. The tone is absolutely, it has a really dark tone as the episode starts off. We see immediately, first off, in the first few couple seconds of the episode, we see some clone troopers basically being forced into retirement, and all that sort of stuff. And while that happens, we see a whole bunch of, TK troopers walking around. You can see how the Empire are just slowly phasing out the clone troopers and all that sort of stuff. And we get into our main episode, which, and I'm just going to say this, it's basically another Crosshair focused episode. His only second appearance in the whole entire series, which is, it's just really crazy just to think about that, how Crosshair just is really not much in the show. And this is and once I do a whole review of the show, which I'm pretty sure I'm going to do, I'm probably going to do, a little video talking about season 2 in general, since I want to focus, when episodes 15 and 16 come out, I want to solely focus on those two, and, we could talk about the rest of the other episodes and all that sort of stuff. But anyways, Crosshair is being assigned to a mission with Lieutenant Norm, which we are going to call Lieutenant Douchebag, because immediately this guy just really is getting under the skins of us, calling clones dead meat or used equipment and all that sort of stuff. Basically, we have a very prejudiced Imperial officer, more snooty than usual and all that sort of stuff. Basically, it's all right, you bootleg Tarkin and all that sort of stuff. Hell, even Tarkin really isn't like that. He's more a little bit subtle and not really direct. So anyways, both Lieutenant Douchebag and Crosshair go off to this outpost on a very snowy planet where there hasn't been any communication or any sort of update from the planet in quite some time. However, though, the reason why the Empire has taken note of this outpost, as the episode suggests, my hair is just all over the place. So the reason why the Empire are heading there is because some valuable cargo of the Empire is being stolen by a couple of insurgents, or I guess we should say, rebels, or just normal people that, don't like the Empire being on their doorstep. So, anyways, the Empire, of course, land there. Crosshair and Lieutenant Douchebag land there as well. And we see a couple of clone troopers that are there. However, though, they are basically cooped into this shipping container. They haven't had any means of survival, especially in a very harsh and cold environment. Hell, they're not even wearing like snow trooper armor or anything like that. They're just wearing normal clone trooper armor, which might hold up against in the snow, but really, these guys really needed clone or snow trooper armor. And we meet our main clone himself. Basically, this clone named Mayday, who basically says, yeah, the Empire has basically been ignoring my calls for having proper equipment, and also because the reason why we've been getting a lot of stuff stolen is because my men keep dying. However, the Lieutenant Douchebag doesn't want to hear it, and basically, just asks for both Crosshair and both Mayday to go off and retrieve the very so important and special cargo. However, though, something that happens in between then is basically Mayday tries to have a little small talk with Crosshair and all that sort of stuff. However, Crosshair just really does not want to open up about anything and all that sort of stuff and whatnot, sort of have you. However, though, their, of course, interactions are, of course, stopped when there's another insurgents attack, and they blow up the shuttle that also kills the last two of Mayday's squad. And while Mayday is out here trying to pay respects, Lieutenant Douchebag is just saying, just forget about them, go out and do your mission and all that sort of stuff. Once again, the guy is a straight up douchebag. So, anyways, Crosshair and both Mayday go off to try to see if they can get some of that equipment back. And they find out that the insurgents are getting into the base due to a little tunnel. And while they're in the tunnel, this little, ice tunnel, Mayday tries to get Crosshair to talk. And, Crosshair starts to talk about, well, he opens up a little bit of the squad he comes from. He, of course, says Clone Force 99. And he's very hesitant to say that they're dead. However, though, he just says that they're gone and all that sort of stuff. And, of course, Mayday talks about how, well, it's been very confusing since after the war and all that sort of stuff. So that all happens while Crosshair is stepped on a detonator that could blow up any minute. However, though, Mayday is able to do a little bit of a Mickey Mouse and able to, disarm the little detonator on the ground and all that sort of stuff. And so then what happens here next is that they see the insurgents, and they are able to shoot them down, kill them, and all that sort of stuff. And what they find in the crates is that they've been protecting and basically guarding Stormtrooper armor, or I guess I should say TK Trooper armor, as it is mainly, as that's really kind of the main name of the Phase 1 clone troopers that we've been looking at for quite some time. I really kind of don't know their official name. Like, I'm just calling them TK Troopers and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, basically, they've been protecting Stormtrooper armor. And Mayday also, recites the clone saying every time a clone trooper is under the control of Order 66. And one other thing that I really also have to mention is that all the clones that we've seen in the series, while we all know that they were under control of Order 66, and we really don't know if Mayday served under a Jedi commander or a general or anything like that, he recites the line saying, "We were good soldiers and we followed orders, but here we are being treated like crap from the Empire," and all that sort of stuff. And to make matters worse, a whole avalanche basically crashes down on them. What basically happened was that they set off a bomb, which then, of course, basically blew up. They set off a bomb, which, of course, killed half of the insurgents. However, though, it caused an avalanche, and it caused both Crosshair and both Mayday to be buried under a whole blanket of snow. And while this is also happening, there's basically a tundra, like basically a a tundra going on and all that sort of stuff. Basically, it's a nonstop snowstorm, like the one that Luke Skywalker and that Luke Skywalker was in during The Empire Strikes Back and all that sort of stuff. So it's kind of like that, but except it's with clone troopers and all that sort of stuff. Crosshair's helmet is knocked off, and Mayday just tells Crosshair to basically go and leave him behind. However, though, Crosshair tries to get Mayday back to the base. Both of these two are trying to walk back to the base in very snowy conditions, and you can just easily tell that both of them were each going, one of them was not going to make it out and all that sort of stuff. And there's really this really one scene of them trying to cuddling with each other and trying to get each other warm. And then when they come back to the base, this whole entire scene when they return back to the base is, I mean, I really wish I can just show you, but I don't really want to do that because I don't want to avoid copyright. I want to avoid copyright and all that sort of stuff. But basically, to explain what happens, both Mayday and Crosshair return back to the base. However, though, instead of retrieving medical attention, and one thing that I also very much noticed about the Stormtroopers was that while the creators of Star Wars, especially the newer ones, really like to depict the Empire to be really soulless and heartless, like Lieutenant Douchebag and all that sort of stuff, I really kind of have to wonder, what do the clones really think about, what did the Stormtroopers really kind of think about this? I don't know. I really kind of would have liked to see one of the Stormtroopers maybe talking up, saying, "Wait, sir, we need to help them. They're going to die," and all that sort of stuff. But hell, I think even maybe the Stormtroopers are a bit maybe scared to maybe even talk up, or hell, maybe they are very much heartless. However, there are two really Stormtroopers that I noted were like that, that were both looking at each other. I like to interpretate that as them just saying we shouldn't really get involved in this, and besides, if we probably do get involved, we're probably going to be killed anyway, and all that sort of stuff. So maybe hell, the Stormtroopers, I really would like to see like a story of there being Stormtroopers that actually do feel bad for the clone troopers, like to really show that gray side, to show that there are good guys and bad guys on each different side, and that's something that, like with really with Rogue One and really Andor really showed was really the gray area of the whole entire galaxy. I would really like to see more of that, the gray area and all that sort of stuff. However, though, this scene though is still really well done with Lieutenant Douchebag and all that sort of stuff, what not sort of have you. And what happens here is that Crosshair begs to the lieutenant for Mayday to receive medical attention. However, though, the lieutenant still refuses and all that sort of stuff. And Mayday dies right there in the spot. And then this is a very big turning moment for Crosshair. Crosshair at this moment, and at this moment, he sees finally that the Empire does not give a damn about him and all that sort of stuff. And of course, what then happens next is Crosshair then kills the lieutenant. And when I first saw this for the first time, I was thinking, when Crosshair fell down, I was thinking to myself, did he die? I was like thinking, holy shit, if they do that, that actually would be a very dark twist and turn. That would actually be a very different twist. But from what it looks like, no, Crosshair didn't die. However, though, he just passed out. Probably because the dude was freezing to death. However, though, he is brought to what I can only assume to be the Mount Tantus location. He's brought back to the facility on Mount Tantus, and from what it looks like, the Empire still has some use for him. However, though, not as a soldier, but as a science experiment. Them using him as a guinea pig and all that sort of stuff. And then the episode straight up ends right then and there. So, yeah, I mean, once again, a fantastic. This has got to be, like I said, probably I say the best episode of the whole entire Bad Batch series. It is the best episode by far. By far is the best. The. I just need to point out why is it great. I've kind of, as I gone over the plot, here are the things that I really liked about it. First of all, the tone was really serious and dark, which I do like it when Star Wars go a little bit in that route. First of all, just the character of Crosshair, and all that sort of stuff. Once again, Crosshair is the best character in the Bad Batch series. However, though, he's just severely underused. Of course, Mayday was a very cool addition. The animation was great. The music was fantastic. It just showed in this moment, they just showed how bad the clones are being treated by the governments that they once served, the Republic and all that sort of stuff. And we're slowly just seeing the phasing out of the stormtroopers, and I really have no idea where the plot of the Bad Batch is really gonna go. With really only, I need to see here. I have like a list of episodes, so we're already on episode 12, and then basically there are 4 more episodes left to go in 3 weeks. Now, of course, it's very important to mention that episodes 15 and 16 are, of course, going to be released together. So that's going to be another 2-parter. But, I mean, just... wow. Wow. Once again, just another fantastic episode of The Bad Batch. And it doesn't even feature the Batch themselves. Once again, when I talk about in my review of The Bad Batch, I am going to discuss about whether I'm just going to, straight up just talk about the show. Now, if I were to just say, is this season better than season 1? I have to say it's a bit better. However, though, it still has those issues that were in season 1. So that's great. But anyways, though, with that really being said, though, guys, that's going to really conclude it. There's going to be more videos coming this week. I have some more, of course, diecast reviews to, of course, get to. We got some ones coming in the mail. Of course, we got some more NASCAR diecast to review. I also will give my little thoughts on the race, on what was the current NASCAR race at Phoenix. I'll probably talk about that in one of the reviews. So, with that really being said in mind, I'll see all of you in the next video. See you all later.